We have you, Blessing, we have a Mag, then we have Isiaku. So one other thing that I need to also state here is that you could not have spent that longer period just trying to put one or two things, to help ourselves. And when it comes to projects that was given out in a way to solidify the learnings, there are some people that did not even attempt at all, let alone submitting. That is not good. So out of the average of 7 of you, only 3 people turned in their work, which is good. So that shows at times Bible even said it. Many are called, but only few are chosen. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Only few are
I'm
chosen.
here.
Okay, Mark. Only few are chosen. And we didn't just choose you by bias process. We choose you based on merit, based on what you have been able to do. That's why they say your work will be tested in the furnace of fire, 7 times. So, and that's how it is. So it's really very disappointing, and that's to show you that uh, people, give their time, energy, and everything, and just for you to. Well, I'm not expecting that we're going to be 100%. I told you. In fact, even if you didn't get it at all, it's not even an issue. The major thing is that are you able to put one or two things that you've been taught, and in a space that you really want to, do well for yourself, and want to make things out of this journey. When you could not practice what were given to you, when those things came free of charge. If you go to the internet and then you Google to want to learn those skills that we have covered, either on Coursera, as deep as what we've done, at least you will be talking about some thousands of naira, and this is what you have, and some people do not still take advantage of it. So it is what it is. For those of us that did it, congratulations. I took my time to check each and every one of your submission. And at some point, I was laughing because I could see some magic in some people's notebook. Ah, I could see some magic in some people's notebook, but it's very it's
What did
one
you
of
expect from data scientists? We do magic.
it's magic. But all the same, I am really impressed because regardless, right, despite the magic, despite many codes flying everywhere, it's just to show that you made efforts, and that's what matters. And I was very careful, although there were copyrights that I saw. There are way we check some things. So in coding or in programming generally, you cannot think the same way. So if you have to approach a problem, the way I'm going to think about solving that problem is not going to be the same way you're going to think about solving the same problem. So therefore, we expect diversity in coding, but it's still good. I really like what you guys have done, and it shows the level of how you are being intentional about this journey, and I will encourage you to not stop, keep pushing. And part of the email I sent to you, honestly speaking, I will not deceive you. You can begin to look for opportunity out there. You don't need to wait forever. The space you are in is moving every day. As we speak now, we are talking about Gen AI. Gen AI is far from all this one we are doing, generative AI, and we are talking about LLM, large language models. People are building chatbots and everything. So it's not waiting for you that I'm still on modeling, and I have not even been able to apply that. That's why I said begin to look out for opportunities, even at a freelance level. You are not going to be paid to do the job like you are volunteering. In the course of doing that, you would have opportunity of knowing it by doing it, right? And it will be like a real life experience that will add to your portfolio. Everything you have learned are very, very useful. These are things you do every day if you have to be in this journey. And that's the truth. And couple with the
Sorry,
fact, yeah,
sorry. Blessing, please, can you mute your mic? There's noise from your end. I'm not hearing your laugh clearly.
okay. So Blair Blair, is Blessing there?
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes,
as
I've muted it now.
okay. As I was saying, even at a freelance level, you could attempt to do those things always work because to a company that you are going to be volunteering for, they will think they are using you, but you are indirectly learning in the process and you're building your own profile, which is what matters. If you're able to do one or two assignment or project with them and you add that to your portfolio, it gives more volume to what you have learned. And the truth is that all these little things, reprocessing, feature engineering, model building, are things you will do every day. As I've told you, the same process. So don't sit down and say you are looking. There cannot be any right time or any perfect time. As I even told you, I said, even at your place of work, for those of us that are working, look around yourself. There are a lot of things you can do that would make you become people that they will have to be called. There might be, maybe as we speak, maybe there is no data manager. Let me just use as an example. Or there is no product developer. I'm just saying, for example, expert as we speak. But because you're able to just put one or two things together and you create a solution because you are there, you see the way they do it, there's a way you can relate it with whatever, and you present it to top management. Who says that from officer I cannot jump to senior management? Nobody says so. It's how you be able to provide solution, especially when AI is driving everything, and you are coming from that angle. So that can also be an avenue. I've not seen any industry that you're going to be that you cannot apply what you have learned. So please, more often than no matter how many hours you are, this is more like a career discussion because you have to begin to look in that regard. If you have accumulated such skills and you didn't use it, it makes no sense. So let's begin to talk about project. Let's begin to talk about problems that you are trying to solve in any areas of your choice, and that is what matters, and that's what gives values to what you have learned. And if that translates to putting some you know currencies in your pocket or in your bank account, then you now know the value of what you have learned. So that is the short form I will say, but I can guarantee you what you have learned is nothing but more of everything that at least when we say let's say the entry level person in data science should know, and that's what you have learned. So of course the domain is wide. You cannot cover everything at once, and you cannot even be everything. You just have to pick your part. So that is another additions I want to say. Do you have any remark, any addition? Because this is like that's how this session will go. Like today, we're going to do something, but it's not going to be cool. You have to discuss. So, do you get what I said? Let me get reactions from all of you.
Yes. Sorry, I was away before, but I'm here now. My husband had to help me mute my mic. So my question is, if you start applying, like most of this thing now, they want to see they want to see your portfolio, like what you've done. So how do we go about it? You said you are going to tell us. Though me, I've gone ahead to do GitHub, but I tried logging in today. They did not allow me to log in. So I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Continue. I want you guys to finish so that I can react at once. I'm taking notes.
Okay, so and you said we should pick our niche. How are we going to know the niche to pick now? Since it's everything that we learned. So that's my question. Thank you.
So for me, I would say you mentioned looking for internships and entry level positions and stuff. So I would like to ask, do you have any recommendation of places where we can find these internships and stuff like that to kickstart this phase of the journey? And then the GitHub stuff, Blessing already mentioned that as well. That's all from me. Hello,
Okay.
Ola.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
with you. It's okay. Let me thank you for that reaction. Let me start from blessings. Blessing, of course, we discussed that after the project, we're going to go into building a portfolios as to how you showcase that stuff that you have done. The truth is that, if I'm not mistaken, if you should count the number of notebooks you have with you from the first phase, is nothing less than maybe 20 or 25 notebooks, right? Each of those notebooks contains solutions to, steps as to what we need to do, especially those ones on the last part, like maybe the last 10 class or the last 15 classes that are really detailed, putting everything that we have learned together. Each of those fully executed notebooks are projects. Do you get me? So you have enough. That's one side. Another one is even the current work that you did, which is your project, is still another work, another portfolio that you're adding. So the only difference is fine tuning. Fine tuning means that make it like, you know, design it in a way that becomes presentable. Do you get the idea? That's different. But even if you are talking about, I want to showcase my project, my work, whatever, that notebook is what you're going to be displaying. But the way you're going to be displaying it in terms of presentation will be different from what you did. Like this submission that most of you that I said I was going through the notebook, I was just laughing at some point. So you cannot present that like that kind of. But at least when you be able to fine tune, refine the code, make it beautiful, neat, and is readable to even a layman, those are the area we're going to be going into. And where can you push your whatever? Of course, GitHub. Some other, even if you don't have GitHub, you can even use your LinkedIn. So the only difference is that a GitHub allows people to, like, okay, he has a portfolio that you can, even on LinkedIn, you can showcase whatever you have. And even if you don't, maybe you don't have such, let's say, for example, while you are going for an interview, you can even create, maybe like, let's say, for example, you push all those notebook into your Google Drive and you share a link to those notebooks. So there are so many ways to display what you have, not necessarily GitHub. But the only idea thing is, okay, I want to have a GitHub account, which is good, which we are going to, has got to be helping us. We'll look at those things and we'll do it. You understand? That's one. So let's say, for example, now you are looking for, just like one of the questions, you're looking for a freelance position. Freelance will not ask you more, because freelance is like you are volunteering, you are trying to just hard up. They understand that you don't even know. If somebody that's looking for internship, nothing much is required of you because you are still entry level. You really don't know much. But they just want to be sure that, okay, if you are given this opportunity, let's say, for example, you can flow. Do you understand? Because when you say you are doing internship, it means that you you have maybe the theoretical knowledge. You want to relate the theory with the practical, which is what is happening in industry. Do you get the idea? So they just want to be sure that truly, when they talk about import, you know what it means. When they mention NumPy, NumPy does not sound like a Chinese language or a Japanese language to you. You understand what it means. So, and how do you validate those things? This process is being validated, or process are being validated by what you have done. Example, this final project. By the time you're going to be concluding the whole project that we give to you, and you go at your own end and you put those things together, that is enough to display for anybody that this is what I've done. And truly, you've done it. Do you get it? Because you own it. So even if you present to anybody, you are very confident at what you are doing. And that is how it works. And for all other things that we have done. So what I would have expected during that break is to go back. All those one that is not, you are not struggling to, you have the solution, you have the notebook, you could have reproduced it. Because by the time you reproduce it, it makes more sense. You understand everything that is being done. You can arrange in the way you should arrange it. Let's say, for example, the one with the house pricing, one with this, another one that we've done. You can do those things, and those things becomes your own. And even if anybody calls you anytime, even on interview, you can present that fine. That's what you have done. They understand that okay, you really know what you are doing, and those things will give you. Even if you are going to be pushing to GitHub or push to anywhere, these are the things you push. Plus additional that will be coming as we progress. But you already have enough to display to or to show to anybody. So that is one um, answers to what you ask. The other part is how do you find the niche? The see, it's just like when you say we want to kill a bird that is hanging on a tree. Our goal is to kill the bird. So some people can decide to begin to throw stone. Some people can fire this catapult. Some people can, can use gun. Do you get it now? But what's the goal? The goal, we want to kill the bird on the tree. So that's different approaches as to which people are using to kill that bird is the niche. Do you get the idea? So I don't know if you understand the global scope. The bird is what we want to kill, but there are so many area people can look at. Okay, for example, me, I want to use stone. Stone that you pick is a niche. Someone that is using catapult is a niche, like an approach or techniques. The other person is, and that's why at the end of the day, what do you want to do? You want to kill a bird. And in the goal of data science and machine learning, what is the goal? You build a model, you optimize the model, then you put the model into production such that people can use it like a solution application. That's all. So how we kill it is not the different niche that people can look into. For example, machine learning is one, natural language processing, computer vision, deep learning, everything come together to produce a solution. So, and the way they are complex, granular in nature, like from one state to the other. So even if me, I think what I love to do most is NLP, natural language processing. That's what I want to do. Then you build yourself in it. But at the end of the day, it's still the same approach that you have learned. The only thing is that is another like catapult. For catapult, you need a stone, you need that whatever that catapult itself, and so the way you're going to be projecting it will be different from somebody that's just using a stone ordinary in his bare hands with his bare hands. So you can see the approach that's how it is. So it is now left for you to say, okay, all these things I've learned, all this area I'm going to higher focus. Which industry do I want to target? Am I targeting health? Am I targeting agriculture? Am I targeting finance? So you now have areas to target after you have gotten the technique, which is what I've explained, which is the niche. So okay, my own problem solution I want to provide is for the tech people, is for it's for the finance people, is for the sales people, is for the, you now pick any areas and you find yourself there and you apply what you have learned in your own way and you solve the problem. And that's it. Because everybody speaks data. Do you get the idea? So that is how you should project you know what you want, you know what you are good at, you know what your background is, you know what your target is. Your career goal. So I can determine that for you. So it is now I'm bringing AI solutions to my targets or career prospects in life. And that is it. And you create that environment for yourself. So do you understand how I've explained that the two questions you raised, Blessing and also Mag?
Yes, for some of us are transitioning, so we don't really have like career goal in this tech something. Sorry, I'm bringing you back. But anyway, like you just start with the internship, sha. Then I have another question. Is there a way to save my work online apart from GitHub? Like I have issues with the system I'm using. I uninstalled the Python. So I think whether the server be what I could not use it again. So is there a way to save the work online that I can be able to access it? Just like if you open your Chrome, the system, you're able to access your email. I don't know
Okay.
if you understand.
Okay. Thank you. For those that are transitioning, want to transition into tech and you are in tech already. But even if you are transitioning, your goal is to solve a problem. What domain do you want to solve the problem in? You find that everybody is in tech, everybody are solving different problems, even if you are in tech. You have chosen the path of data science, machine learning. That is a part in the old tech, whatever, right? Okay. These things you are on, it's a skill you are learning. Just like when you go and learn fashion designing, it's a skill. So this skill now, okay, somebody that learn fashion designing, is he some people inside the fashion designing, some people are good at only the made dresses, like they don't sew any other one other than the made. Why some they do both? Why some is this latest vague kind of dressing they can sew? Do you get the idea? So you can see even in fashion designing now has stages and some people can do everything. Do you get the idea? So it's now what you wanted. Okay, someone that has been trained to do um let's say only the male. And this male that you have even learned is the old school way of sewing clothes for male or men generally. Now everything is in vague, like things are changing faster than we can expect, and you refuse to upgrade yourself. That person, nobody even patronize that kind of person again. So it means that even if you have learned something, you can always increase your learning continuance so that you can be relevant. And that is what keeps everybody in the business. So in the same way, in data science and machine that you have learned, I want to solve a problem. There will be domain that you want to solve the problem. Let's say your background. I don't know what interests you. For the truth is, something must interest you. You get, let's say, for example, what interests you is healthcare. Healthcare. Okay, how do I want to bring this problem to this solution to healthcare? Oh, healthcare. Okay, I think I like to study how I could bring AI solutions to help doctors, for example, take decision faster, even without not attending to patients. Look at the thinking. So what do you need? You need the hospital because you need their data to be able to build the solution that you're looking for. What type of data do you need? Oh, I only want to. There are so many diseases in the health sector, but let me focus on, let's say, malaria, for example. Now, malaria, I might not be able to understand how they do the diagnosis because I'm not a medical doctor, but I can get to meet a medical doctor that will have diagnosed patients for, let's say, the last 6 months having malaria, right? And what are the information they collected from these patients? Of course, everybody will submit their information, your name, your date of birth or age, or how do you know? People would submit information. After that, they will subject that kind of person to maybe test, right? All these tests also they will have reports. Maybe it has high temperature of 39 degree. Maybe you understand, they will give information, and this information will be consistent for any patient that comes that is malaria related. And they have this data set for a month, I mean for 6 months. That is enough. If I have access to those data, I collect the data, right? So I can build a model that can detect malaria based on the information they have gotten from the medical whatever. So you can see the connection. So when I build this model and I build a solution, it means that doctor does not even need to see the patient. The only thing is that when patient comes, they will just launch the application. The patient only need to supply the information that has been collected over time. Let's say, for example, they look at it as, okay, you know what, we can, so that you can be accurate, take your temperature. Maybe temperature is 38 of a particular patient. Maybe after the next day, they ask the person, maybe, how did you feel? Did you sleep last night? You know, there are questions they will ask you, which will have been a data point that you'll have used. So by the time they supply those information, doctor does not even need to see the person. Once they run the information in your model, you will tell this person is having malaria. And that problem is solved without not even seeing the doctor. And once they have malaria, maybe it's drug they want to prescribe. They could say, okay, take drug A, drug C. Let's assume it's one doctor in a big hospital that will attend to everybody that is having malaria, having a cancer, having this, having that. The doctor will kill himself. But when I have solution that can do some little whatever, I have saved the doctor time and even fast in terms of attending to patients. You don't need to go to lab, they don't need to do anything, and the model will be as accurate as what they can think of in a solution way. When I mean solution, it's not as if you are going to be carrying model. You are put inside something that they will supply the information, the model will generate and predict what exact situation is. Look at that. So this is how you have to think, and that's what we call product. So until you're able to get to the product line solution, you are just playing around whatever, and that is the angle. So in this case, the hospital example I made is also what you're going to look at in the area that interests you. Do you understand? So that's how you're going to think about it. There will be a particular thing that you want to address, and that is it. So when you think in that regard, so there will be so many work you have to do. You need to, relate with those people in that domain because you don't have the information. You understand? So and you need that information for you to be able to, come up with something. So based on what they give you and based on what your expertise in terms of developing something for them, you develop it and becomes a solution. So imagine you have to do that and it's as accurate as anything, and an hospital adopt it. Of course, they will pay you. And your solution is solving problem. Instead of people have to be queuing or they have to wait for 3 hours or 5 hours, even when it's an emergency, only for them to just because malaria normally, if they test and maybe it's not severe, the next thing is just for them to prescribe drug and you go and buy your drug and take your drug. But because the doctor is busy, you're unable to see the doctor, or you have to wait for the lab time. All those things can even make that person because he or she was not attending. Oh, let us meet your mic. Oh. He or she was not he or she was not tended to at the right time. You get the idea. So this is how you would think. So you have to look at what area interests you. There are so many of them. So when you able to identify, hello, help us mute your mic. Ezeaku, so mute your mic, please. So once you're able to identify these areas, then you look at how you. So even if you don't have the data set now, the there's no data set you are looking for that is not available on the internet. It's just for you to check, browse through, and build something similar in that nature because you know where you are going, even as we are doing. Like, for example, the house pricing stuff that we did. House pricing model that we've just built can be used by estate valuers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So even as simple as that thing is, people that are doing agents, people looking for house for people, maybe they now have a small organization. You can sell their solutions to them. The only thing is you now need to get your own data because the one you have built is not their data. You get the idea based on what, so you need to get their own data and incorporate it in your own model, and you will build a solution for them, and they will make use of the solution. So even if they need a client that is looking for house, let's say for example in Lekki, and you have built a model that can suggest prices for them. They don't need to even go and be wasting transport to go to Lekki. You just supply the information, and the model will tell them as we speak, oh, the houses in social area is 20 million, and they have the information. They supply it to the customer. Even customer, they can even bid on their own website, whereby when the client log in on the website, it only supply what he likes, and you just see estimate coming over. This is where do you think those things coming from? That is the area. Do you get the idea? So everything is applicable. Like the flood data set that we built, you can sell it to the meteorological companies, and they will, because it's a solution. The only difference is data set that will be the one that will be different because data set of Mr. A will be different from data set. So if I want to give you this solution, I will need your data set. And once I have your data set, I will build you this solution. It will work for you. Even the fraud one that we did, you can sell it to banks. Do you get it? So that's how it works. You just have to look at it in a larger spectrum. Though it's not as easy as you just fly and get there, but gradually, all this little effort we are doing is what you're still going to do when you have access to the right data. So that is the essence of volunteering. A volunteer for company, you have access to their data set, and you can build a solution for them that they will not, but they hire you as a volunteer. You can become their senior manager in the future because they need you. Even when you come in as a freelancer, but you are now there as somebody that matters to their business because you have given them a solution that they will need because you now have access to the data set that can be used to do anything. Do you get the idea now? Do you get the global scope? Hello.
Yes.
So that's how it is. So, blessing. Welcome, exactly. You're not done. Oh, how was the journey? So, yeah,
I just got to where I'll be staying.
yeah. Glory be to God. Like, káàbọ̀.
Ẹ ṣé gan sir.
So, for Mark, for your question, I think we talk about data, right? Because I think that's the only
No,
one.
I was asking about where we can, like, if you have any recommendation
Okay.
for
Oh,
where we can get these internships and stuff.
yeah. But the data one I've explained, the niche I've explained it. So for the internship, Google is your friend. Why do I say so is that everything has to be location based, like for example. But if you go to Google and type, you don't even maybe you just even type freelance job in data science or machine learning in Nigeria, let's say for example, for those of us that's in Nigeria, you will see it will come. Might even be a company that does not even make sense, but it's not about the sense that you make as we speak. It's about you gaining that expertise with them. And it might even be like, because if you are volunteer, they can't force you. I only be available 4 hours a day or 4 hours in a week to do this assignment. They will assign you a particular role. I only be available this is hour to do this, and you are consistent. You are able to, and before you know it, you have because you are inside the company, you have access to so many things that can be useful for you. But then you now look at it, say, I can create a solution for these people, and you create it. So for those of us that are working, we don't even need to look anywhere. That your company you're working can create a solution. It just depends on how you look at it, and you will get it. So for me, looking for internship or freelance, of course, Google is your friend as or some job um, site. Which one do you even have in Nigeria? Then what's this common one? I think jobs in Nigeria or something. I've forgotten all those one. But at least for us not to waste, go to Google, do your search, you find your search, like you find that state the role you're looking for, state your location, and maybe the type of contract you're looking for. I'm looking for freelance or something. So it will come based on what you have researched. And you can look at the companies and look at the role, look at the breakdown of what they are looking for. And you can use it and just use that as an example. And in case it didn't come, if you now have a company that you think you can walk up to, let's say for example, you now have a company you can walk up to them. You are volunteering. It's not every company will need your service, but how they want to go about, they don't know. You can just okay, I can do this one for you, and it's gradually. And because you have access to one of the things why we recommend volunteering is because it will give you access to the company data. And once you have access to company data directly, and you know what you are doing, tell me what you cannot. In fact, what they cannot even think of, create it for them. By the time you are now looking at it, become relevant. You that just came to the back door, you now become like the face of the company because of the kind of solution you are providing for them. So that's how you're going to look at it. So and that's how it works, right? So do you understand that now? Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
And coupled with the fact that the world is even a global village now, you can even go remote. You can do remote. There's some freelance role that are remote based. So when you're just searching as well from Google, put remote. If remote is what we were looking for, you will see, especially in advanced countries, there are so many of those things that is all freelance and remote, and you see. And you look at it, look at what they say you will do, and look at the time. If it favors you, apply. If they pick you, you started. They give you access to everything you need, and you learn in the process. Because they're not expecting you to deliver 100% work. No, they know you are coming in just to assist them in one area while you also learn. Because somebody will attach you to will put you through something that you don't know. While you also assist that person. Maybe what you are assisting the person to do. Let's say maybe it's just cleaning the data. That's the only thing you are doing. That's how volunteering works. They won't give you all the work. No. And they pay you. They didn't pay you now. You just want to learn something. Maybe what you're going to be doing in the data journey is you will only clean data. Maybe your own is to load data alone. Maybe that's what you are doing. But don't forget that you have other skills. But because they don't believe they've not verified you like you can do it. But from the point that you're able to have access to data alone, even to clean, it's something for you that I now have access to this data. This is not the real time data of the company. And you cannot build a solution and present the solution to them and say, do you guys know that this can this and this and this and this? And they will look at it and say, oh, boy, so we didn't even know what we have. And the discussion will change. Even when you end your term with them in terms of volunteers, I want to, they say, no, don't go. What can we pay you? Just tell us because of what you have been able to add. And that's value added. Do you get the idea now? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, very, very clear.
Oh, that's it. Eziaku, you're welcome. We only have a discussion as regard it's recorded, yeah. We only have a discussion as regard areas for us to look into going forward because as we have in the mail, everything you have learned is enough for you. It's enough. I keep saying it. It's enough for you. And the opportunities you can even say over here this field is a bit saturated. But in Nigeria, there are opportunities. Honestly speaking, that's because the way Africa is developed, Africa is just coming up when it comes to this space. Here is saturated, like everybody speak about it, like it's not new because companies.
Africa cannot pay our salary.
I didn't say you are looking at it from the angle of money. I said build something first.
Okay.
It's not. Don't say that. It's not. If even if you say Africa cannot pay us, it's not about salary. It's about solution you are providing. If you are a solution provider, you have many people that will be paying you, not like you'll be collecting. They will need your service, and you're going to be smiling to even that in that Africa. The market is there. I'm also praying that God should help us. Truly, that I'm not joking. I'm not. Yeah, you can say it's saturated because there's nothing you want to say that they don't have.
Mr. Una,
They are even developed. Yes.
where are you?
Where am I?
Yes.
You don't know where am I?
He's in France. He's in France.
No wonder. You say you saw that email you put ton to it. I'll be waiting. That email.
Abiento.
Abiantu. See you soon.
Abiantu.
That's what it means. So you don't know I live in Paris, and so this is why. Can you imagine?
Me, I not know. Oh.
You see this woman. Anyways, so you understand. So don't look at the money for now, because if you approach them from this angle, like they look at it that what you are speaking is money, then the learning will not come. But when you have the learning and you are so grand in it, money will start looking for you. So please, let's look at it from that angle. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
So let's look at it from that angle, and then build the necessary niche you need to build for yourself. Know the area you want to venture into, and keep creating solutions in that area. You must decide what you want. I've explained now. So you critically examine yourself and know what you want, and look for data sets in that area. Do what you can do analysis, do model building, do anything you can do. It doesn't need to be perfect. As you go in the journey, begin to understand most things, and it began to make sense to you. Okay? Is that okay? Is that
Yes,
okay?
it is.
All right. So
Yes.
yeah, that is all.
Yes.
Exactly when you get the video recording, you will listen to what we have discussed. But do you have any question as regards your project? The break. Is there any challenges? What's your scope? What's your area? So let's hear you. Hello.
Hey, please, I want to ask you, are we going to do a correction?
I just said it now. I said by the time we even finish the correction of this project, it's another project on your own project.
Okay.
We'll do it now. So
Okay.
even if you're not, but as I've told you, you are now master. So the way we were confiding ourselves then, no, the something as advanced. That's why I call it an advanced class. You get it? So there are some things that I will ask you to go and complete yourself. You don't have to be asking to be building model for you. You can build models now. So if we need to solve a particular problem that will require model list, for example, maybe it's after model we pick it from. I'm not going to start to work from building model from all of you take it as an assignment, go and build the model. That means you clean the data, do whatever you need to build the model. Just give me the model, we'll pick it from the model and we'll continue. Because after model building, as I've told you, there are other things. So it's that other thing we want to start doing now, which began to make more sense. You get it? You get it?
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Please, I have a question.
Is that what?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. This is one of the reasons for this class. So go ahead and ask your question.
The question is based on the project too.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead now. Of course, that's why we are here.
Why was it that Abia, I speak English?
Just speak it anyhow.
That error we are getting in the beginning
Which error was that?
that was giving us memory issue.
Okay.
Why
All right.
was it like that?
And when we get to the solution, we see together.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better that way, right? And then for you also asked that how can you save your work? Yes,
Yes,
you
yes.
can use your Google Drive. Okay,
Oh,
you can use your Google
okay.
Drive. What it means is that you go to your Google Drive, create a folder inside your Google Drive, and try to upload all those files into your Google Drive. It will be there. Do you get it now? And then for those ones that are what's it called? Notebook, Jupyter Notebook. By the time you want to use it online, you are not going to be opening with an account again. You're going to be using Google Colab to open them from your Gmail to open, from your Google Drive to open. And another thing is that which you don't have the problem. You must be connected to the internet before you can use Google Drive and Google Colab. This is what we have discussed. So automatically it works for you. But the only problem is if the file, that means the document, that means let's say the data set, for example, if it's too large, it might take a while before it will upload inside the Google Drive. Another thing is that Google Drive only gives you 15 gig. So if you are saving, you get to a point where your Google Drive will be fully consumed. Maybe you need to expand by subscribing to a monthly whatever or how you want to do it. Do you understand the idea now? So that's another limitation at which that one has. But at least from the little thing we have done, I don't think everything we have done from beginning to end should exceed. For now, I'm not sure it's even up to 5 gig altogether. So you can still save them. But that's another way you can upload which is what I said that even on your Google Drive, you can also showcase your work. Because say for example, you upload a notebook or solution inside the Google Drive, there is a link that's connected to that notebook. So if that link is what you copy alone and you give it to anybody that open this link, maybe that is if you have removed restriction. Anybody that has the link can open. By then they open that whatever from their own end, they will see your work. So have you not displayed whatever? Do you get the idea? So a lot, the system is really working together. So you don't really need most of those things are saying you can structure the folder such that any link you share out that you want people to access will contain your work that you have done. So even without Google Drive alone, because it's going to be the only thing that you are sharing with them is only the what's it called? The notebook, and you can control it only to view. They can't edit, they can only see, they cannot do anything. So there are some things you can say that even when they open the link, which is going to be like a Google Colab from their own end, they will see your work, but they can't do anything with it. Do you get it? Because there are two options. You can either grant view only or editors, whatever. So if you grant the editor, they'll be able to modify. But if you just view, they will only see it. And that is showcasing your work. And it's only the link you need to send to them. Do you understand? So too many ways to get things done these days. Okay? Okay? Hello?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, Eziaku, are you still in this call? So I will know what next to go into. Eziaku. Eziaku is not with us. So, um, any other thing? Any other thing?
None from me.
Okay. So, well, we can now go ahead and introduce ourselves to where we are. Then we'll take it gradually and then just for a few minutes, just to refresh our brain because, of course, it's been a while, right? Should we go to work now?
Yeah, so
Yes, please.
Okay.
it's been a while.
It's been a while. You see the code.
But wait, Mr. Ola, this coding thing now is to bore you.
How can you be in this space? You say it's a boy. That's what we will be eating every day now. No, even me, I'm still learning now. It's not.
You
Eh,
like this checking your LinkedIn profile. I was seeing all the things that you listed. I
Oh, okay.
beg.
List means somebody still not learning.
Yeah.
This
No.
this madam is so funny. We are still learning, and that's the way it is. Honestly, it's honest. I'm not joking. I'm not capping. We are
You are
still learning.
learning is advanced thing you are learning.
You are learning. There's nothing that's advanced. So everybody is still learning. It's depending on the stages you are.
So that's it's the same thing
Even
we are.
you that you are speaking now, if you want to talk to somebody that has not even gone through school knowledge, like maybe that person is just starting Python, he will tell you that you're also advanced, right? But you know that you may have not even covered much. That's how it is. That's how you say that learning is continuum. It's something that is continuous. But don't let it should not bother you. It should not bore you rather. See, there's nothing you want to do. The space that you find yourself, you have is coding. But it's not really much code. We're not even the software engineers, and you're just a data, just know the process. Once you know the process, it's what you do every day. But then you're not doing every day, those code becomes light to you because you already know what to type. Nothing is changing. Okay?
Okay.
Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can
Yes.
see your screen. I'm seeing like it's showing where the three names are.
Yeah, that's where I am. Okay. All right.
Ooh, not have power to blow balloon.
Can you see what can you see now?
We can see
A dark screen.
Okay. What can
uh,
you see now?
the work.
Okay.
Okay,
The
the assignment, this thing.
All right. So this is the project. And then this one you have, this project is so comprehensive that honestly, if you package these things that you have done a lot, and you should be proud of what you have done. Don't ever look down like I didn't do anything. Okay, you have done something, and I must congratulate you for that attempt you made. It does really make sense. It does make sense. You've done well. You understand? So and be proud of what you have done. Be proud to discuss it anytime, anywhere. Because an achievement. And nobody will celebrate if you do not celebrate yourself. I hope you know that, right? So you need to celebrate yourself. Okay? Don't shy away. Even if you think I didn't do, you don't, you built a model. And that is an achievement. Whether the model is correct is another question. Do you understand? So whether the model is accurate is another question. But you have built a model. You get the idea. And you not just jump from building model, you will have cleaned the data, right? You made some pre-processing steps. Is that not? Hello? Is that not what?
Yes.
Ehen.
yeah.
So, and this is what everybody that is in your space, even those that are professional, that's what they do. And you have done it. Though it might not be like your own data set might be small, like, but even if it's complex, the same concept you're going to do. So be proud, okay? And trying to discuss it. Say something, even on your status, first, you have done something, understand what you have done. So and be proud of that achievement. So the other part that will come later is to award you guys certificate of what you have done. That is still in process, and we'll announce when it's going to be ready, and you guys can play around it. And I also shared this link of this Zindi. This Zindi is like Cargo. It's a website that have so many competitions that you can win cash, can win some bonus points to boost your profile. So visit those sites. For people that are looking for challenge, go there. You see so many challenges. The competition that you've been is been some is not doesn't have money, some has money. But regardless, check it. Do something, download data. You see what you can do and see if you can push to the up to the stage of submission. And you can even collaborate. Do you get that's how you build the networks? Can collaborate with people, maybe just to learn, even if you didn't contribute, just to learn how they do it. Next time you know better, you can do it, and that's how it works. That's how Cargo is there. So Cargo and Zindi, for a data scientist, you should know about them, and you should try to do something. It's not necessarily you win, it's not necessarily you, but at least there will be so many data sets that you can have access to because of the competition, right? And because it's available, you can localize it to yourself and say, okay, I will use this data set to build like the one we talk about, where you are going. Do you understand? And that's the logic. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
please.
So try to visit the website. The link, if you click it, it will take you to the link. Then cargo as well. I think those two at least. In fact, it is indie. You cannot even exhaust what you have there. There's so many that they are launching every day. The same thing with cargo. How many things do you want to do? So I'm going to start from the second one. The second one is pretty simple and direct. So I just try to tease you around what you have learned, how you can leverage it. And this project, I can boldly tell you that these skills that we are going to be showing you that I asked you to do in this place, these are things that are necessary. Because somebody have learned that whenever there's a missing value in the data set, what I need to do is just to use drop NA to remove the missing value and I'll continue. But there's a problem. If that kind of person follow that approach, there'll be a problem because what it means is that if the missing value is much and you remove it, you're going to be left with a very small data set, which might not be good enough to make or to build a model that can predict the generalization of a particular situation. Do you understand? For example, they gave you 6 months data. So this 6 months data of malaria cases covers the possibility of every malaria cases symptoms that you could imagine. You now collect the data. The data now has about, let's say this 6 months data now has about 5 months missing value. Okay, 5 months missing value. You now remove it. Are you telling me that the data set that's going to be, which is going to be 1 month, and you build the model with that 1 month, will it be as accurate as you using the 6 months? Is it going to be the same thing?
No.
Good. So you can see the dynamics when it comes to, don't just go, you understand these things, and that is one of the approach here. If the missing value you have in your data set is much, the approach is not to always remove missing value. Look for the other alternative so that you don't go and eliminate some important features that your model should have learned from and you have removed from the data. And what you are going to be having will be a very small data set. Not even only it is small, it's not a general representation of the patterns you are looking for that the model should have learned from. Maybe you have removed temperature out of it because you are removing missing value. And your model is learning or is being built without temperature. Somebody now came. Are you getting the idea? They now measure the person temperature at 40 degrees because your model did not capture it. When they supply it, your model says that person is fine because it didn't capture, it didn't learn anything about temperature because you have removed when you are doing missing value. Can you understand? So have you not misled the nurses and the doctor to say the person is fine because it didn't capture? You can see the implication. So you think and relate like this thing is happening real or you're trying to solve a problem. And that's how it is being done. So whenever you have missing value that is so much, like it's taking about 50% of the data set, don't just go and remove it using your drop NA, what we taught you in missing value correction. Otherwise, you might tend to lose some valuable information that the data set should have learned from. And that is the goal of this project. That's what this project addresses. Okay? Is that fine?
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah.
the project says tax. You are required to use the data set to predict the weather, whether there will be flood or not. That is the goal. So you can do the prediction, you can build the model. But there's a problem here. He said this data set has a total of 20,544 entries. That means it's even enough data, it's a big data, right? The predicted column is flood. That's what we are trying to target, which has and contains about 16,000 plus entry with missing values. So you have 20,000 entry, 16 plus is missing. If I remove it, I'm going to be left with 4,000. The truth is, Will the 4,000 represent general information of what the model should have learned? The answer is no. So therefore, you don't just go and remove. Otherwise, your model will not learn anything. In fact, your model will be biased. That's the summary. It's going to be biased towards the entry or data point it did not see. And even the one you see is still going to be biased because it will have learned a lot of information from other ones to relate with if there's a connection to your prediction, your label. But because they were not available, there was no way for it to have related them together. Hope you are getting it. So your
Can't see your
deliverable.
screen again. No.
Can you see
Can
now?
you stop sharing? No.
Can you see now?
The
I'm
only
not seeing your screen again. No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Confirm if you can see now. Can you see now? Can
Yes.
you see now? Mhm. So, and look at the deliverables. We said split data set into two based on the missing values. Train a model with a data set that has the missing value, that has no missing values. Remember, necessary data pre-processing needs to be carried out. Step 3 says use the train model in step 2 to predict the missing values in the one you have splitted. And you now have two information, which we are going to see the way we do it. You need to consolidate the two data sets to make new data set. Then you now train a new model, and that new model will be speaking to a complete data. Do you understand? So these steps are very essential. So let's move ahead now to do what we need to do. Shall we? So we're going to start from 2. Shall we? So we don't need to complete it this night. Just do
Yes,
little, right?
please.
Now board you. Can you see my screen?
It's blank for now, Sha.
But you can see that dark mode.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Ahead. Yes.
All right. So if you have to go by what we have, as you are aware, we will always do what are we doing first? Tell me. Tell me. What are we expected to do first?
Why is your screen black?
Can't you see can't you see what I'm typing? Can you see? I'm not yet typing, it's still blank, but can you see my screen? Can you see the hash?
Yes, I can see.
Uh-huh. So I've not done anything. Can you see now? Can you see what I'm typing?
Yes, font color.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Can you see now? Flood prediction,
Yes.
project action. Good. So we want to start now. What are the things we need to do? Look at the steps. If I can work anything, you will need the data, right? Because there's no way you can do anything on the notebook if there's no data, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if I want to bring data up, I need to bring in some libraries as we are aware. So what we do here is to say, okay, since that is the case, import necessary libraries. So what are the libraries? Who can remind us? Who can remind us? What are the libraries we need?
Pandas, numpy.
Good, that's very good. NumPy. Okay,
and
and we always
lovely.
import NumPy as np, import pandas as pd, maybe import math plus lib.pyplot as PLT, import cborn as SB. Maybe let's say this at least for now. Let's see if they will import and if not, we will install. So we are importing the library we need because we need these libraries at least for now to bring the data set inside the notebook. Hope you remember.
Yes.
Hope you remember. Good.
Yes.
So when this is done, the next thing is okay. Let's now try to define our parts. Don't forget, define your data, your folder part. You know all those data. You remember. So I don't expect you to forget that. You know you will have created the folder automatically. Do you remember those things we have done? Have you forgotten?
Yes.
So let's try to define the
I'm
part.
just laughing.
Let's see. So define your part. Eziaku, please speak. Oh. Define the folder part. That means the part of the folder that we're going to be needing. So if I open the folder I've created, I have data, model, notebooks, blah blah blah. So the part,
We use function for this thing, Nabi.
yeah, I've created, yeah, you have the function already now. So use the function. Me, I've created it, so there's no cause for alarm. But you have the function already.
Okay.
Remember data. Then
Back.
I have model parts. Then we shall remember this thing.
Yeah.
Hey, who is yawning? Who want to swallow us? No, you don't
Don't
need
worry.
to. You are in the notebook. Okay, let's say even notebook. Notebook part if you want. Part. Notebooks. We need outputs. Out part. Voila. Outputs. Hope you remember all these things, yeah. You know, this is just a part to the whatever. Then I think visuals, in case we need some visuals. Visual part. This is like the link. So visual part. Don't forget to. This is why you have to practice visuals. Yeah. So this is the part in case I need it. So remember what we have done. So I need to also import. Now I need the data. My data that I wanted is already inside the data folder. If you look at this, it's there already. You can see that these are data sets. So I've already put them, like I've arranged this work, okay, which is what you also did. So there's no cost for that because you also did it. Hope you are following. So I need to load the data.
Yes.
So I need to load the data. So load the data set. That's the next step. So how do I load the data? So the data is inside the data folder, which is what I've created. So I can load it and I'm going to be fine. But I also taught you how we use OS, operating system, to navigate folder. Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yes.
So remember when we did CH directory?
Change directory.
So
All those
that
things.
concept I'm bringing now. So because if we look at where I am, how do I know if I want to check import OS? This one is the thing I need. If I already import OS, I cannot do OS dot get current working directory. So I want to know where I am, which of the folder I am currently in. If I run this, it says I'm inside the notebook. Can you see? Remember these things we did. So if I load this data directly now, it will not be able to read it because the data is not inside the notebook. But what data is inside data. So I need to change to the directory that has my data so that I can load data from there. You remember this step? Do you remember?
Yes. Yes.
I want to change os dot change directory to what? Change it to data because that's where I have my data. Because I want to load the data. If I run this now and I do os dot get current working directory again, I should see that you can see now I'm now inside data. Do you see the difference? Initially, I did inside the notebook
Yes.
because I opened it inside the notebook. Remember what I told you? So I opened inside the notebook. But I know that for me to load my data set is inside the data folder. So I need to get access to that folder. How do I need it? For me to get access to folders, I will import OS. If you do that one, you are fine. So, and there is a library or a method called ch directory. That is what change directly to where you want to go. So I want to go inside data, just put it because I've already defined it here. You can see the importance of defining the paths. Can you see? Because you have defined it here, you already understand that it will just switch straight to the data. Okay. So I'm already inside data, so I can load now. I can now say my flood data will be equals to, if you want to load data, because I've imported pandas, we said we use panda to load our data set. Yes or no? Hope we have not forgotten that one too. Blessing, are you with us or you are against us? Blair Blair. Blair Blair. Mag, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you not forgotten that if you want to load data, we use PD? Is it true?
It's true.
And if I want to load, so
PD.
that means I should have imported Panda, which I've done already. So I can use it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
PD dot what?
Which yes.
Read CSV. Is it a CSV file?
It is now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
But yes, like it's not the same data we used to work.
I'm asking you now. Me, I don't know. I'm asking.
It's okay. Sorry. It is.
All right.
It would
So
be. You are trying us. You are trying us.
see, so let's go and look for it. How am I trying you, Egbami? I think this should be the data. Flood, Rabbi. Flood.csv. That's data, right? So data is flood.csv. So if I run this, if it's there, it will not complain. And if it's not there, it will tell us that Blessing has given us wrong name.
Okay.
Okay, voila. We have it. All right. You see, this is the data. So we have loaded it. Is it beautiful? Aha. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the data set which you are good and are comfortable at it. Now, this contains 19 columns, right? So these 19 columns, based on the data that we are fine. Normally, what you should do after you load your data is to maybe get shape, get info, get description, check if they are missing value, check if they are duplicates. That's what you do normally on any data that you have loaded, because you have loaded it. You want to be sure if everything is fine, right? Which is pre-processing.
Yeah.
Once you load data, the next thing you want to pre-process means you want to prepare it for processing. How do you prepare? You understand? How do you prepare? You check for missing value. You check if it contains no duplicate. You check maybe the entries are right. You just check all those check that you want to check. And that's
You check.
You check for outliers.
God bless, check all those things. So when you check and those things are available, then the one that require you to correct. When I don't require you to correct, you leave it now. So let's go and check. And that's where your pre-processing starts from. Are we good? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So from this place, look at our flood. Our flood we're looking for is as a question mark, right? Already
Yeah.
the way the column appear is not even too good, because how can I say a target is flood question mark? So the way they name it, I might not like it. I can rename them. You can rename columns now. You know you can rename
Yes.
columns. So these are the few things you'll be checking. Okay. You can also, okay, let me start. So the target in this data is flood. But the way it is written here, is as flood question mark. That's one thing you can see. I can also see here that there are two, there is SI, there is this one. So like, and they are the same thing. So I can remove, I know they are just the index, right? So I have two index. Do I need to keep the two? I just need to remove one, Abby.
No, you move one. Yes.
You can see the way you are, this is just mere inspection. At least I've been able to detect two things, even if I don't know anything. I've seen that SI and this one. Let me just remove the SI. The one they say I need, flood question mark. I can say I can rename this first so that when you want to type, you don't go and forget, because once you forget that there was a question mark and you only write flood, maybe when you need it, it will not run. The name is not flood, it's flood. So I can decide to rename it in a way that it will be convenient for me. Do you get it now? Okay. Are we?
Yes.
So the step here is I need to do processing. This is the step, processing. This is where it starts from. Process data preprocessing. So I run this. So this data preprocessing can start from flood data. The way we have it, flood data dots. You can do your shape, at least to see how it looks like. Okay, can do flood data dot info. All those things we did just to check if the dot info. You remember all this dot info. This will
Yes.
give you also that I want to know how many integer column and how many categorical column. You remember, this is what we show you. You can say, okay, out of this column, which one is categorical, which one is numerical. So all this thing is what is really nothing more. You can now check that, okay, from this information, there are 5 numerical, there are 13, there are 13 floats, there are 5 integer. Automatically, numerical is 18 altogether. Do you see now? There are 18 numerical columns. Numerical can either be or what?
Integer.
So and you can see the summary here now. You say float is 13, integer is 5. So total, how many numerical columns you have? There are 18. Do you get it now?
Yes.
Yes.
And one object. Object means what?
Categorical.
Categorical. So it's just only one category. Is that clear? And that category is the float, which is the target. It means it's only the target here that is numeric and that is categorical. Every other thing in this data is purely numerical. You get it now? So
the target is not categorical.
But
that's what you say. That wait now, you will see the problem. That's what I'm telling you. This is what we are doing. We are inspecting it. Okay, so we cannot conclude on what to do. Info is telling us this information. Look at what I'm reading, what I have here, right? But on the data type, it's showing me float. So there is a problem already. I want you to be seeing the problem.
Oh, okay.
Look at
Now,
station name. Even station. Look at station name. Station name is even object. Can you see? So sorry, station name is the object, which is 1.
Yeah.
So the only category I have in this data is the station names.
Yeah.
Even the target is what is
A float.
numerical.
So that's correct. So inside this data, I only have one category data, which is the station names. So how I want to deal with it is my personal issue. I can decide, but I already know I have. This is descriptive. I can pick something from here. I can also move further to say, okay, let me see the distribution. Not the description, that's describe. Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yes. Yes.
So what are the things you look for here? You only look for check the mean, check the count, check the mean, and check the standard deviation. I told you this. You know the choice of what?
Scalar.
Scalar. God bless you. Choice of the to use. These things are very, very important. So if I check the count, everything I'm seeing here is 20,544. Let me see if there's a problem somewhere. And you see, look at problem under flood. Flood, now 20,000. What do I see? 4,400. So there's a problem with flood already. Even the targets even have a problem when I've not even predicted it. So I know there's already a problem because count should be everybody. So it's counting only 4,000 rows instead of 20,000 rows. So there's a problem. Okay. If I move away from that, if you look at the mean should be normally, if it is standardized, the mean should be what? If it's standardized, the mean should be what? If it's a normal data, what
If
should be
what?
if this data is normal, what should be the mean?
It should be
Yes.
around the 58 percentage.
Yes, it should be very close to the 50%. Yes. What other theorem? If you use the central limit theorem, I've explained this. Under normal circumstances, if the data is normally distributed, what should be the mean? What should be the variance?
The mean. I think she has said it now.
No,
Then the variance should be
no, she has not said the mean. She only compare, which is correct. You check if the mean is the same thing as 50%. That's very correct. But there's also the thumb rule of thumb that if a data is normally distributed means there was no biasness, everybody is fine. So if it is the case, the mean and standard deviation should be something. I reiterated it more than I even lost count. Who remembers?
is it that it should be close or it should be square?
No.
And I know those things, no.
The
one.
mean, no, good. Which one is one? Which one is one? One is what? Which one is one? One is
Standard.
one.
Standard deviation.
Exactly.
One.
Standard deviation is one. Yeah. What about mean?
Mean.
There are two things now, mean and standard deviation. So you have answered standard deviation is one. Mean is what?
0.
I show you these things though. Okay. If a data set is normally distributed, the mean should be 0. Standard deviation should be 1. Write it somewhere.
Mean should be 0. But nothing is 0 here now.
If it is a normal distribution, that means this data set is not yet normal. These are the things that you will use to know what type of scalar you're going to use. You are the one that even answer that question. So when you do describe, these are the questions you ask yourself. The first thing, which was very correct, you check the count. If it is okay, you are saying that there was a problem in the count already. So that one is, you have already noted it. Mag said the mean must be the same thing as the 50%. That's very correct information. We also check. Even if it's not, because this is data that is just coming. You don't expect the mean to be 0, the variance to be 0, to be 1. No, because they've not worked anything on this data. So even if you are seeing mean 0, standard deviation as 1, already that means that this data is already clean somewhere. Do you get the idea? So at this stage, you might not see the 0 mean, standard deviation 1. Do you understand? So when you do your work, I want you to get the logic. Are you connecting it?
Yes.
So when we do our cleaning now, by the time you do the scalar and you come and check, you see that the mean will be 0, standard deviation will be 1. You check it when we get there. Do you understand the idea? But as it is now, it's just a fresh data. Assuming that nobody has worked on it, it's dirty. It's still dirty. So the mean will not be 0, standard deviation will not be 1. But what is the another thing that we can use, which is what Mark said? The mean that we have in data should be closer to this 50%, so that if it is closer, I already know the choice of, and if it's not closer, you already know the choice of scalar to use. Is either a standard scalar or mixed marks. Remember,
Yes.
those are the things that will guide you. You already know, you are making your decision already as you are going. So when we check, mean is 1027.1. 50% is okay. It's relatively close. Can you see? The 50% and the mean is great, so I am fine. Okay, mean and 50% is fine. Okay. So look at standard deviation. Standard deviation is 5.9. So there's a problem. The mean is not close to 0, though it's having the same thing as 50%, but it's not closer to 0. The same thing like standard deviation. Standard deviation is not even close to 1. Automatically, I can standardize this data. That's kind of question that will come to you. Do you get the idea now? I can standardize so that mean can go back to 0, STD can come back to 1. Do you get the idea? So because you see what we are picking. Another thing can see, okay, let me see the mean and max. Maybe the mean and max also has a problem. And if that one has a problem, I will use minimax. Okay, minimum is 0, maximum is 20,000. Is it far off? This is very far because these are two.
Very far.
But we look at the second one, 1948 and 2013. Is it far?
No.
Okay.
Eh?
Look at,
Not too much.
Yes.
Just
not too much. Look at the third one, 1 and 12. Is it far?
Yes.
No, it's not far. 1 and 12 is not far now. Okay. In 1 and 12 and 1 and 9, which one is farther? 1 and 12 is not far. It's just 12 points. 12 points is not far compared to 100 points. Are you getting the logic? Hello?
yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, look at 21 and 44. Is it far?
No.
So if you look at these four we have observed, it's just like saying the minimum is like 2 times or 3 times the minimum will give you the maximum. Just look at it in that regard. So it's not too far. Are you getting the idea? Are you inspecting the data? Look at it. Do you see it now? The first 5 is like if the minimum is 1, the maximum will be 3 times 1. Apart from the first one, because this first one only measures the extremity, of course, because SI is just the extremity. This is where it started counting year, months. These are the variables you're going to look at. And when I look at year is 1948, this is 2018. Like the year in between them is not too far off. If I look at this one as well, this is 1 month is 12 months, of course. January and December. This one will always be 1 and 12. The first month will be 1, the last month will be 12. You cannot change the calendar month. But when you get to the maximum temperature, the temperature is 21. The maximum is 44. It's not times 2. Can you see it now? Are you seeing what I'm saying?
Yes.
So minimum
Yes.
is 0.2, maximum is 28, like times 3. You get the idea? So if you inspect it, it's not too much. It's that times 2 or times 3 or times 4. Even let's say times 5 of the minimum. So it's not too far off. So this data has no problem on minimum maximum. So I cannot use minimax. If you know it's going to use
Rainfall,
what did you say?
rainfall is far.
Rainfall is 0 and okay. Rainfall is far 0 to 2072. But what is the question? What is the response for? You don't know. Maybe it's also measured around extremity. So we don't know. So we have picked one. If you look at relative humidity as well, blah, 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 34. So more of this data conform with minimum maximum than, are you getting the idea? Than the minimum mean and standard deviation. You agree with me now, because from what we have inspected, if you look at the minimum and standard deviation, the mean and standard deviation that we have checked for this point we inspected, they tends to far away from mean and standard deviation. But in terms of minimum and maximum, they were agreeing. At least, do you see it that way? Do you see it that way?
Yes. Yes.
So automatically,
Yes.
I can conclude here that if I get to where I want to transfer my data, I will do standard scalar. Do you get the idea now? Because this is what is tending towards summary. Is that fine? Is that fine?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So you can make a note in your notebook so that you don't forget the steps to which this thing has given you. If I want to make a note so that I can know what this thing is telling me, make a note so that you don't forget. What do you want to do? I see that one, there is a problem. There is a problem of missing values in the target. So point number 1. Don't forget this. The second one, the data set has mean and standard deviation error. Sure, you understand? At least that's what we have been able to see generally. So these two things. We also observe that the flood need to be renamed. The target needs to be renamed. You know why? So that we remove that question mark. So that we can remove, if you want anyway, remove the question mark. Where's my question mark? Okay, that disappear. I'm using a French keyboard. Remove the question mark. Okay, you understand why? So at least this is, we also need to remove the SI column because we don't need it. We also need to remove the SI column. At least with this one, I can do this one raw. So this is it here. At least this is what I need to first of all do, that I know that I want to follow. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's now do the first thing. We have checked the describe, but we are not done because we still need to see if they are missing value. We need to see if they are duplicates. So check for them. Check for missing value. Is null. Remember, dot sum. That's formula we need to check for. You see, it says everybody is fine until when it gets to the flood, which you have already seen. This also validates your curiosity that indeed there was a problem or there's a problem with the flood column, which is the target. You can see it says there are 16,051 missing value out of 20,000. Already there's a problem because I can't use this data like that. You get it now? So I can also do duplicates so that at least I've inspected this like a broader view duplicated. The sum is like a broader view of so there were no duplicates. Do you see? I'm fine. So duplicates is not existing in this data, but there was a missing value problem. So we are now fine. So at least we have inspected this data now. So for us to start with the work, we can decide to first of all drop the SI column that we don't need and rename the flood so that it will take away this question mark. It's your choice. You can leave it if you want it. But the problem is that maybe you have gone down, 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 down. You just forget that the flood is having question mark and you just go and use ordinary flood. You'll be finding error. You might not even know where the error came from. So it's always better for you to rename your column to something that is okay, that there is no need for you to think of anything, and you can do that, at a glance. Okay. So let's start with renaming the column. Renaming. Hope you are not sleeping. Stop now.
No.
Just
Oh, we are here. Oh.
We are here.
okay. Naming the column flood. I'm finding my question mark. You see this French keyboard. It's funny. To flood. So let's go ahead. So Blessing, tell us the code you can use to achieve that. Blessing.
Remember that I struggled with this thing. I use
Okay.
dot
So
rename.
do you remember there is a method we call rename? What do you want to do? We just want to rename this thing. That's the meaning. We want to rename.
I'm telling you that I use dot rename.
So
But
just want to rename. Sometimes Python is like English. It's not difficult. I want to rename that. I want to change it from flood question to flood. So it's renaming the column. And it's as simple as calling the data set dot rename method. This will rename it. Rename. So by the time you do rename, you need to know what you need to pass inside. If you do this tab, you can see what do you need. You said, okay, if you are using a rename method, you will need to supply the columns that you want to change. That's the only thing. Supply the column and it will rename. Which one is the old one and the new one, how you want it to be, and that's all. And do whatever I want to do. So that's what it is. So to go away with this, I will need to supply the column that I need for me to get the rename done. So to do it, I'll supply column So column names is column's name is because why you are doing this column is just because why am I supplying column? Let me even use that. Let me explain. This thing you are doing is on the column. So you need to, by the time if you did not put anything, Python will understand, you just take it as default that maybe it's on the row. So if you go and you will go through the data row wise, you will now say, "Ah, I did not see what you have labeled." So anytime you are doing columns, either you do axis equals to 1 or you specify columns. That column is, I've given you the column you're looking for. So don't struggle. So in this case, what we're going to do is just to give the column, to that data, and that is what is going to use to get it done. So for us to do it now, give the columns, that's what we are indicating. Oh, because we want to replace. So you use the concept of, when we do you remember dictionary? What do you say dictionary is? Who can tell us summary of dictionary?
That's
Keys
key
and
value.
values.
Good. What do I want to, when I'm using a replace method, it's like I'm changing from something to something. And the only data type that allows me to use a key and value is a dictionary, because what I want to do is that I want to replace something. So Python need to know where am I coming from to where am I going. So I will need the key, like take this key, whenever you see it inside data set, change it to this value. Do you understand? That's what dictionary says. So I use the concept of dictionary here to assign the old one to the new one, and it will work. Okay, so I will need to do dictionary that says what was the old one. The old one is flood question mark. That's the old one. To be replaced by what? By the new one with a column. Remember this center, you see this is like a dictionary. You know this. I want to replace it by what? By flood, maybe capital letter or small letter, anyhow you want it. So what you are saying is that go to the columns, go and look for key. This is like the key. This is the one that existed in the data, and replace it with what? With the value flood. That's what I've just told Python. Are you getting the
Let's do
idea now? Is that what?
let's do capital letter. Every other one, column names have capital letter.
Okay. It's your choice now. Doesn't, in fact, I can change everything here to small letter. It doesn't matter. It's your choice.
You change everything in one line.
Yep, it's your choice. So flood,
Okay.
okay? Can change everything in one line until everything will change. So
Mm.
you just do the column then lower. It will change everything. Okay, that's
Oh,
the way
yes.
we're doing. So comma, then because I don't want to create multiple, I want this to apply to data sets immediately because I'm not saving it. I just do in place. In place is equals to true. Voila. So this one means effect the change automatically and remove it when I'm seeing the data again. It's going to be data that is corrected. Hope you understand.
Yes.
You get it.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So let's go and look for it. Look at it before I run it. It's having a question mark now. I've removed it. I've changed it to what I want it to be. So if I run this now and I call in my flood data now, you're going to see the difference. So if I run it now, so if you go and check, can you see it's already corrected?
Yes.
You see? You see it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's just it. So this is a method we use to rename. So anything you want to do the same way. Imagine you want to remove this rainfall now to maybe small letter rainfall. Do the same thing. It will go and correct it. Okay. Anything you want to do that you don't like can change. This is how you change the column name. Have we learned it now? Have we learned
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Yes.
At least even if just for you to be doing one by one, it's still okay, no problem. So what else do we need? You don't need this SI column. Don't forget, we don't need it. So therefore, we want to drop it. Okay?
Mm.
We are not speaking anything.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
how do we drop? I want to drop
We are
that column.
responding.
Okay. Yeah, tell us how do we want to drop the column? Who can help us? I tell you the
Drop.
code.
Drop.
Use drop.
I will use what? Drop. Tell me the code now. I use drop what?
Flood data.
Drop.
Flood data.
Uh-huh.
Dot. Are you writing it?
Say it now. We'll write it. Drop data dot.
Dot drop.
Mm-hmm.
And
What are you going to call this one now? Does not
and
have
is
name. No, he said he wants to drop this first. I log 0.
Drop dot flood data. Then inside column, what are they calling that square bracketing? You put SI, SL, that's that thing.
The SI you are dropping and be the first one and does not.
Drop. That's the method. Yes. So you state the column that you want to. I just explained this here. You can also use this concept. I want to define the column. If you define the column, you don't need to do axis. These are two ways to do it. Let's say, for example, you want to do it this way. I want to name the column. Which column am I dropping? I'm dropping column what? SI. That's the column, right?
SI.
So then here, I need to take Python. Where is SI? SI is on the column. So I need to indicate axis equals to 1 because it's on the column, comma, in place true. If you want, that means if I do in place true, that means we move it permanently. Don't forget. So in place true, we remove this permanently. I don't want to see it again. If I look at what I did. So this is one way. I can also write this as this flood data dot drop. I can state the column and say columns is equal to, and I indicate the column. If I do this, I don't need to do axis again. I will just do in place. You see the difference? In place equals to true. So if I did not use column, I will need to state where is this column I have stated. Where is it located? Okay. If I did not do this thing and I use this method, Python will complain that it will just go and look for the axis index inside. That means we are saying that you should go and look for it at the row, and it will tell you that I did not see anything SI on the row. Rather, I have number. Do you understand? But if I do axis equals to 1, automatically I'm telling Python that this column I've indicated is only on the column side. Do you get it now? Do you get it?
Yes.
These are the two ways you can do it. So the two will work. So I'm going to use the silent one because you can't use it. You can't do it twice, otherwise it will claim error. Once you remove it, you remove it. Okay. If I run this code, I will have been able to successfully drop SI. So let's run it. And I've drawn in place equals to 2. Don't forget the meaning of in place. That means because I'm using data already named, so I'm using data frame and I don't want to be repeating whatever. So just do in place, it will automatically remove it. So I won't have it again. So you have to be sure that that's what you want to remove in the data. So let's see what this SI is not found. So let's go and see. Maybe it did not define it rightly. Maybe it's not even SI. Maybe it's S1.
Okay, is that thing is like S?
I don't. We know now.
I think SL. Just copy. That's what I did. That thing showed me shake
Yeah. No. Next time, what I want to know is you can call it now. No problem. Do this dot columns. Let's see what it is. It's SL. You see? It's SL. Can you see now?
Yes.
So it's SL. SL. Okay. It's done now. Okay. Okay. This is how you can know the columns. Data name.
Yes.
Columns. We show you the columns, so you can copy directly from here as well. Okay. All right. So if I run this thing now, SL will not be there again because it will have removed it. So floor data, we now have element called SCC. This is now my floor data. Okay. I'm still good. So I've been able to do two things here. Are you following? We've corrected We've removed the index we don't want. I've corrected, I've renamed the flood. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes.
So what was the next thing? So when it comes to what I did initially here, is just to, I've not done anything, don't forget. What I only did is to do some little correction. So there is still a major problem in this data, which is the flood. Okay, so which is the target. So I can now go ahead and inspect my data targets to see how it looks like. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes. Yes. You are
All right.
following.
So if we should move ahead now, I might be interested to say, okay, let me even see what the flood is made of. And to see it, dot flood, because I've removed what we need, dot is null. Let me use dot unique. Let's read it out. Dot unique value to see. If I run this guy, so automatically truly there is a none. Can you see the values inside the target for column should be 1 and 0. That means there was flood, 0 was there was no flood. But I now have another third element, which is this none. So this none now is a problem that I want to correct. But let me see how many none was missing. And for me to get that, I'm going to do this. This is just examining the nature of my missing value in my target column. If I do this and I do value count to see what this thing is it count or can't? See, so only 4,000 plus, you see, was value that are meaningful, which are between 0 and 1. The none is one that is taking the larger percentage of this data, so automatically it's big. For me to be sure, I can now do this dot is null dot sum. So automatically look at it, 16,000 plus, which you have seen. So already this data has a major problem with missing values. So going by what we have, so your choice of what you are looking for now is not dependent on you. If you decide to use all this data, it's your choice. As well as you can also select one you need, the column that you wanted. So, but let's say, for example, let's further examine this data. Let's go and look for the categorical data inside this set and see if it's what we want to remove or want to leave it. Don't forget. So how do I know? I need to check it and see if the unique values exist inside these station names, which is categorical. As if maybe I should drop it or I should leave it. So if we inspect it further, I can say flood data dot station name. Let me just go and copy station names. Copy it. Control C. I want to check if I want to see the unique values inside that. I want to see how many are they unique. If I run this, there are so many. Can you see? There are so many of them. So if I want to know how many are they, I'll put N here, number of unique values. So it says that there are 33 entries of station names. That means they have 33 stations. You get it now? So it means that each of them is different, right? So I can decide to say, okay, this station name, does it has anything to do with whether there will be flood or not? Let's use station as maybe location, or let's say the city. Okay, if I'm talking about flood, of course, I need to know where the flood is coming from. Maybe the flood is at Lekki, maybe the flood is at Ikeja. Do you get this idea? So I can see that I think I need this station name to know where the flood exists. Otherwise, if I don't talk about the flood location and I just say flood, it might not really make sense to me because I need to know where the flood occurred and where it does not occur. So that's okay, maybe I should keep this station name. Another thing, look at data also. Data has coordinates. This X, Y coordinates, latitude and longitude, they are the geographical information. Because this also, X coordinate, Y coordinate, latitude and longitude, they are the one that marks the information around the location. Okay, so I have two information of location. This station name is location, and there's another geographical information. I also mention location. So even if I don't know the string name of the location, there's already a numerical representation of the location that when I read this data, I will get where it is, where the incident happened. So automatically, I can leave, I can start to remove my station names because I've already gotten a representation in terms of that is even more detailed because X coordinate, Y coordinate, launch and latitude, which even show me the exact, because this one can only show me Lekki, but where in Lekki, this is what will tell me where in Lekki. Okay, it is at first roundabout. This one will just show Lekki, Bareza. Bareza is the location. But where in Bareza? This one will tell you that Bareza, though it is Bareza, but it's at the first gate of Bareza. You can see that one is more detailed than the other, but both of them mention location. So if I don't want repetition in this data, I can remove this guy. But I can still leave it, it's your choice. For this case of this project, we're going to leave it so that you can see how to treat categorical and we can see how to treat numerical so that we use one stone to kill two birds. Normally, we would have removed it away and work with pure numerical because of the representation that we've already gotten. But I want you to see how you can treat the two different ways of data so that if it is numerical, you know how to treat it, categorical, you know how to treat it. So that's why I'm going to leave it here. Is that fine? Is that fine?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And so the same thing, you have station number, station name, station number. So there are some repetition in this data, but let's just leave this data the way it is, that we are fine. Let's focus on what we need. So which will going to be the end of the class. So in this case, we will leave all the columns to be valid, and we're not removing anything. Okay, we're going to leave it there the way it is. So normally at this stage, what you should have done next is to remove the column that you don't need and keep the one that you need. Let's say, for example, I don't need station name, I don't need the year, I don't need months. I can remove those things. But let's leave it the way it is and say, okay, I am not taking anything out. Everything is going to be valid. So the next thing is to say, okay, and I want to go to the problem. Now, why do I need to follow this step? We have seen here that I should have just used drop NA to remove this missing value in the data. That's what I should have done. That is how to correct missing value. So the next step will be, I want to correct missing value. Should be the next thing. Missing values correction. That should be the next thing because of everything you need, you have done it in this data. So normally what you have just done is to just say drop NA, bang, bang, in place through, and everything work. The data sets, data frame dot drop NA in place true, in place equals to true. This is the formula. Everything will work, and I'm done. Okay, but if I go and use this method inside this data, I will have removed 16,000 plus. Just know that. And out of 20,000, I moved to 16,000. Automatically, whatever model I build with this data, after I remove the missing value, will not be valid, it will be biased. So therefore, the approach is not to remove. Do you understand? So that is the first set that says the first statement that says split data. But that's the approach you should follow. In real life, that's what you will do. You don't remove it and go and say, I'm removing missing value and nobody should question me. Of course, that's what you should do. But it's only valid if the missing value are very small. But this one is even above 50% of the data. So I cannot remove 50% of what I need because I want to build a model, because I want to clean data. Do you get the idea now? Do you understand this approach? Hello?
Yes.
So that is the essence. You don't just remove. Even when you know that that is the right thing for you to do. Don't drop. Don't just quick and drop NA. Especially when the percentage of that NA is more than, it's like it's taking over 50% of the data. Don't do it. So rather, this is the approach. Split data using the NA and build a model. What we want to do here is that, okay, if I know that there is a missing value, can I separate the data set into two different parts? The one with missing value will be one data. The one with data sets without missing value will be another data. And I can do the splitting because there are codes that allow me to split data. So if I can achieve it, okay. If I remove the one that is not having missing value, that will be like a complete data. Okay, because it's complete, it's okay. I can build a model on it. If I build a model that targets that I build it on that same input target variable. If I build it, I cannot use that model on the data set that I am looking for the noun. It will now predict it and create a new data of the noun for me. And therefore, I have solved the problem without not removing anything. What do I mean? Here's what we're going to do. We'll just split data and we'll stop for today. Now, let me make a note here. Because the missing value are pretty high, it is not a wise decision to drop NA because we would have ended up removing over 50% of the entire data set, and building any model okay, building any model with this type with this type of data set will result in biasness. Okay, that's just the grammar. So the approach to follow is there are so many approaches, but this is better because you are not losing anything. And because you have now learned how to build, you can build a model. Because what's the essence of the model? Build a model, use the model to get what you don't have. Now, I don't have a particular range of values. If I build a model that is tending towards that area, I can use that model to predict something and to predict it for me. And therefore, I have the value. So what we're going to do here is to split this data. We split the data split the data set using the noun available in the data. Okay, so that's how we split it into two. So Blessing, can you help us with the code to do the splitting? Is Blessing in this call? Blessing. Blessing.
Yes,
Tell
I'm
us
here
tell us the code to split.
to split.
Using
You use
noun.
none.
Yeah, that's the approach.
That's not how I did my own.
How do you do your own? Tell us the code you use now.
I use two different codes.
Yeah, tell us the code. We want to learn.
I have two names for data set.
Yeah.
So the one that is complete,
how do you know the one that is complete? How do you know
I
that?
use this drop NA for it.
So you drop it. When you drop it, where did you keep it? The one you drop, where did you keep it?
I saved it inside
somewhere. Okay, that's good. All right. So to split, you can. I saw it anyway. To split, Mag, are you still with us? Ezeaku, are you with us?
I'm here.
All right. So to split now, what it means is that I just want to separate this data. But don't forget that for me to access the one that's having NA, what was the formula we use? This is the code we use is NA. You see, it's none. This is the formula. This is the code that can make me access all the data set with NA. If I want to know, if I copy this is not difficult. Copy this thing, and I put it here. You're going to see it now. First and foremost, if I run this code, So this one shows me flood. This NA true means those ones that are what? That are what? Hello. Okay, let me remove this flood so that you can see
That are
the.
null.
You can remove. Let me see. Look at this here. Look at the table. Can you see the table? This force.
Yes.
So this true. This true is what is my concern. When it is none, they are the one that is true. Okay.
Yeah.
In the column of interest, to know is flood that I'm looking at. So all this force means is not none. That's the meaning. So because I said go to this data set and check those ones that are none for me. So it's just going to return a boolean that says if it is none, let it be true. That's what it's saying. So in this column of my interest, I'm having what? I'm having true. Since there are so many of these. So this is the data I need. This data I need. I need this data that will show me only the non-value. So for me to achieve it, it's just very simple stuff I'm going to do. I will indicate the column because this column will be the point of reference. Once and I know the column already, if I indicate the point of reference and I write the code out, I will select it. Look at how we're going to go about it. For us to achieve it, the original data set is flawed. So let's achieve it. Control C. So original data set is flawed. I want to grab the same data on the column because by the time you do, remember I taught you this thing, elementary Python. If I do when I did it only, it's returning a boolean statement. If I want it to return element, I will call the data frame, put it inside like you are grabbing. I want to grab the column or the data set having this true information. So I'm going to have this as, then I impose the column that I'm looking for. Lord, then if I do dot is NA, what this one will give you, look at it here. This is this that I wrote now. This one, that's it here. What I did differently is to say I indicated the column. Can you see? So that it knows where to go and look for NA. Do you see what I did? This thing you see here is the same thing here. Do you agree? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
So this thing I did here, this thing above, line 33, is the same thing as what I've written here. So immediately I run this code, even without, I'm saying in the entire data set, is showing me everything that are NA. So for me to grab it by indexing, that's why I use a square bracket. And now say, okay, flow data, go and get the ones which column I've indicated as the point of reference to return an NA for me. That means show me the one that is not having NA, that is not having through the first information. If I run this code, I'm going to have this. Look at what I have. So I have, because I've indicated it, that grab it and return a value for me. If you come back here, look at the flood. Everything under this flood now are the NA here. Because what I did was that go to the data set, which is the flood data, with the column flood, show me the value of NA. And when you get it, grab it by, go back to that same data and return an element for me. If I didn't do this, if I didn't put this one inside the square bracket, it will still return false the same way that this thing gave us. Do you understand now? But that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to get the NA of the flood column and grab data inside the entire data set that I have. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
So this thing I did now, this is the first split. I have been able to select only the floor data set that is having NaN, which is the missing value. So because I will not need this information, I can now save it here. I can ask, okay, you save inside flood NaN. So immediately I do this, what I'm saying is every information, this data set now has been saved inside flood NaN. That means this is the data set that has NaN, which is the missing value. Then the other one If I run this code and I say flood underscore NaN. So you see, so this is what I have. Okay, I'm fine. So if you run your flood now, your flood will be totally missing. So for me to know, you can run it to say, okay, what there did I have? Flood NaN dot flood, which is the name of the column, dot is none dot, if I sum it up and I run it, see 16,000 plus. That's what I've selected. Do you see it now? Which is the missing value? Exactly.
Yes, but Ola,
Mm-hmm.
you see, this place where you wrote flood NN equals flood data bracket and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm wondering, I saw the same thing too during the project time. Why do we have to put flood data twice? Why not just say equal to flood data then bracket flood? Like
I
you should pick
explained
it.
I explained this thing under indexing. When we are doing indexing, if you want to grab this is it here. If you want to grab information from a data frame, when you did not indicate, when I did not indicate the two column, look at it from this angle. Let's do this way. Define a set. I define a set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets. That is a set, right? And I said, Mark, check if 3 is available in the set. Check if there is 3. You know you can do it.
Yes, it's there.
Oh yeah, check. No, yeah, check. Now use code to check it. How do you want to check if there is 3? How do
That's
you want to check it?
the name of the data set.
Name which is set. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, now
Bracket.
bracket. Okay.
Two.
Okay. Once you get that now, you will understand what we are saying. Oh yeah. I want to check that is this set, which is the name of a set list, is it having 3? How do you want to check it?
The
Oh, yeah.
index of that
And
one that is 3 there
what's
is
that
2.
index of that 3?
2.
Index 2. If I say
1, 2.
is
Yes,
equals
2.
to is equals to 3, right?
Yes,
If I run this code, what did you see?
true.
Good. Why does it give you 2? Look at what it did now. Look at the mathematics behind it. I said this thing you did now, this set, which is the data set, the data frame, this index is the position of what you are looking for. And I said, okay, when that position is the same thing as the value I've indicated, return what? Return true. Now, let me change it and say, you know what? I have 7. And I run this again. What did you see? Because he said when it get to the position, okay, it got to the position. What he was saying in that position is 7, and 7 is not the same thing as 3. Now, it's returning true and false for me, but I want to return the number. Say, for example, for you to return the number, what you are saying is, let me return this number back to as 3. You're going to see it now. I return this number as 3. I run this back now, and I did this. This is like this thing you saw now. This set of bracket 2 is like the position. This is going to be the actual element. Are you getting it? It's going to be the actual element I want to
Yes.
grab. So if I want to return that element, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? If I want to return the element back, now this set now is index position. Okay? An index position of this element gives me 3. If I want to run it normally, I say set normally set 2 will give me 3. That's the element in that position. So for me to return this 3 from what I've done is to say, okay, you know what? When I grab set, that is the original data, and I do set of position 2, what do you think you're going to have? Because this set 2 will be true, which is normally it should be 3. Do you understand? If I do set 3, what are you going to have? I don't know if you are getting it too. Look at it
Yeah.
from the way I've done it. Now look at the logic. That's what I'm not going to want because I'm going to give you. I just use it as an example. When I did set index 2, by what I defined, set index 2 is actually 3, which is correct. And this thing gave me true because what I have as an element is the same thing as what I have as what I've indicated. These 3, I've not indicated it. Now think about it in reverse case. I don't want true. Otherwise, anytime I do this kind of a thing, by equality, checking it, it will always give me either true or false, a Boolean statement. But I don't want Boolean. I want to return what the element is. In that regard, if you look at it from the concept of indexing, it means that if I do set of 2 is a Boolean statement. Like a set of 2 equal to something. It's going to give me a Boolean statement. And that Boolean will either be true or false. So it's like I've agreed that what I'm going to be saying is either is a true or is a false. But I don't want it to return that false or that true. I want to return the number I have there. It's for me to pass that indexing over the result I got. Because this result here will always be Boolean. Imagine, think about it in that regard. So this Boolean is already already a position that is going inside this set. So what that position is grabbing? The position is grabbing should be 3. This element should return 3 back to me. And that's what index does. And that's what is happening here. So in the same way, when I'm running a situation that is data frame, there's so many columns inside this data frame. I am only interested in when I run this code for you. Look at you get this logic now. When I run this code for you, show me everything that are known. And because I know that based on what you have finalized, it's only flood that has a problem, not every other data set. Everything inside the columns, apart from flood, they were correct. There were no missing value in it. But the flood has a problem. So for me to now access that flood, that was what I first of all did initially. I said, okay, flood underscore data dot this flood dot is null. When I run this, if you run this code, what did you see? It's showing me the Boolean, like this is like a Boolean information, okay? That will return. In fact, let me even do it the way so that it doesn't look different from what I wrote as the code. Now I put column here, quotation. Quotation now. If I run the same thing, whether you put dot or whatever, look at it now. Now, what I did here, because I've said it's none is going to return a Boolean. And what is the Boolean? Either true, false, whatever. So this thing that is returning is like the index position of this thing I did. Can you see? As an operation, it's an index that will return true or false based on if it is actually equals to true. Now, what I did here was to say, go to this data set, go to the column flood. Anywhere you see none, that's why you are saying here is none. It's just going to check for none because that's what I've indicated. So it's going to look for none. When none available, if I'm seeing any n, so it's going to be 2, and which is what it has returned here. And so okay, I'm seeing true, but all this thing I've seen is a Boolean statement that comprises of either true or false, many things mixed together. So I want to return the element, those actual element for me. I don't want to see the Boolean. Then for me to pass it, the whole of this one will be like the indexing, be like the 2. If I pass it inside this data frame, which is the flood, it's just going to grab it and return it for me because this one has comprised of all the Boolean information. And if I want to return the actual element for me, I will pass the same argument, which is like our 2, inside the data frame name, and it's going to give you the element. That's how it's been done. Hope you understand. So the whole of this floor data, whatever, is representing my 2 here, which will always give you that true or false. For me to actually return the actual element, I don't want to see true and false. It's for you to pass that true and false answer inside the original data set using the concept of indexing by using the square bracket, and it's going to give you the actual limit. Is it okay?
Yes, it's clear now.
That's
Thank you.
So that's the logic around it. So automatically, I don't need this. I just use as an example. So in this same concept, we did this thing when we are doing indexing, and I told you, that's why I said all of this grammar that we are doing as at that time, they make sense. In fact, as a rule of thumb, anytime you want to grab a subset of a data set, what you need to check is a conditional statement. And whenever the conditional statement is returning true and false for you, which is Boolean, the best way to let it return value for you without not that true and false is to pass that statement that give you the condition inside the data frame back. It will return the actual answer normally without no problem. Okay, for anything you are looking for. In fact, if I want you to return the 1, I just need to impose the condition and say this is equal to 1, which is going to look for wherever it is 1 and pass it as a data frame. I'm going to see when we do the second one, and I'm going to explain very well in that regard. Okay, so now this we have been able to select our data frame that has any n. So let's select the data frame without any n. So in the same way, you're going to see it now clearly. So let's select the data frame without any n. Select data set without NaN. So to select, we use the same formula. Let's first of all get it. So I want to pay attention here the same way. Flood underscore data. This is original data. Okay. Let's say I don't want to use the dot. Let me use a square so that you can dot the same flood, which is the column. And now said, I want this thing. What I'm saying here is go and grab flood data for me, right? Inside the flood. Go to the column flood. Show me the data. If I want this code, you see that I have grabbed the entire column of flood. But in this case, I'm only looking for when it is equals to 1. Let's say, for example, if I run this code, you can see that what I'm going to be seeing will no longer be NaN1. I will be having true and false because I've imposed a condition that will return a Boolean statement. If I run this code, what did you see? It's showing me a Boolean statement whereby it goes to the data set, it goes to the column I've indicated, and we'll be looking for which one is 1, which one is 1, which one is 1. And here, I can only see that all the ones that are false, they are not 1. The one that is true, I can see one here that is true. It means this true one is the only one that I can see that's, I think that show me that there is a 1, but I don't know how many are they. For me to now pass this information into a data frame, I don't want to be seeing false, true. I want to see the data set itself. It's right for me to pass the whole of this Boolean statement, Control C. I pass it into the original data, which has everybody. Data, and I pass it as, if I do this, if I run this code now, what you're going to see will be the data set that is only 1 appearing at the flood. If I run this code, go to the flood. Do you see it now? Do you see it now, man?
Yes.
That's how you do this.
Yes.
So
I've
the
seen
first
it.
thing is, anytime you do conditional statements, conditional statement over a column will return a Boolean for you. But I don't want the Boolean, I want the real result. You pass that Boolean inside a square bracket and call the data set, the data frame name on it. It will show you the data. And that's what I've done. Okay? Do you see it now?
Yes.
So I can also do the same thing for 0. Control C.
Are you going to do it differently or the same?
Is that what?
Are you going to do it differently or you're still explaining the concept?
I'm explaining. No, I'm just explaining. I'm going to much this. So you see, look at the one for zeros. So yeah, even if I ask to, for this data, even if I ask to do this splitting into 3 data sets, give me for none, give me for 1, and give me for 0. You have just done it. Do you understand? Because I already know that for the flood, there are only three values: the none, the one, and the zero, and I've achieved it. So if you wish now, you can now concatenate these two together now to give you original data set. That's another way of separating. Or I just use one single code now that we impose here with the condition. I am still going to have the same result. So for me to pick 1 and 0 at the same time, what I need to do is to modify this condition. Eziaku, are you still with us, or you are sleeping already? I know you have a longer day. Eziaku. Eziaku. Greater than or equals to. If I use greater than or equals to 0, do you know that's going to include both 0 and 1? Because when you say greater than, that means anything above 0. And I say equal to 0. So it's going to go into the data set and go and pick everything that is 0 and 1. And even if there are other ones, because I don't know. But because I've been able to inspect the column, I know that I'm very sure that I only have three values. I only have three values. I have NaN, which I've picked. I want to pick 1 and 0 together. So the only condition I can use is to say greater than or equals to.
Can't you use and?
Is that what?
Can't you use and?
Yeah, you can write, but this is how you write it now in code. Greater than or equals to. That's because even if you use the hand, which is going to be, you told them must be the same thing. Because and means both the first statement and second statement must be true. It's okay. So, but that's like a long line of code. This is the same thing. Okay.
Yes.
So if I run this code now, I have my data that comprised of 0 and 1. If I check it now, it has 0 and 1. This is that's why you see 4493, which was the actual one of, you can see that 361 plus, if you add this 4132 plus 361, you have this 4493, okay, which is the total set without any n. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So here we have shown you all what we need. So I need to save this data. This one is the one we're going to be working with. This will be data without any n. So I'm going to go over here and say data set, let's close here now, without NaN. So you can now save it and call it flood what? Which name? Flood, what should you call it? Without NaN. So without
Flood com. Okay.
No, just what do you want to use? Which one? I'm just thinking loud.
I was going to say flood complete.
No, it cannot be complete because I've not combined. So it's flood without NaN.
That's what I did.
It's not complete. If you say complete, what about the NaN? Where did you keep it? Okay. So this is it. Flood without. WO is without. Okay. So this is it. So I've grabbed what I needed. So I'm fine. Right. So we'll stop here this night. So we've been able to separate. You can say the goal is separate. So you're going to separate the columns with none, which is data one, you see, and the data set without now, data two. So this is the first approach. So you can now pick the modeling from here. As an assignment, this is now a data set you can work with because it has no none. So build a model that will predict flood of this data because it's already complete. No problem. Just do your, we've removed missing value. I mean, we've checked that it has no duplicate. We've been able to, what other did we do? We check what's it called? We rename the column we don't want, and we have said that we're going to be adopting everything. So this complete column now will be the overall column for this data. So the next thing you're going to do is to build a model that you will use to be predicting the flood. And once you're able to get a model that predicts the flood, the next thing is to come back here and use that model to predict without flood. Because this one is saying that there's no flood, which you don't even know. This is none. I'll just put this data inside that model and I'll predict the flood. And I'll use it. So we'll get there next week. Okay. So your assignment is you build a model. Use a linear regression. No, this is classification. Use logistic regression to predict the flood and stop. So next class, I'm not going to. I'll just call the model you have built. Then we'll work backward to see how we use it to predict the NAN in the first data set. I'm going to see the beauty of how you use model to build to predict what you don't know, and that one will be a complete. You now merge the complete one. I mean the one without plus the one that has NAN, but now you have predicted it, so the value will be replaced. Instead of having NAN, it will be replaced by the data set, by the value of the NAN you have predicted. And that's a complete data. You now merge two of them together, which will give you a new data set. Okay? Any question? Any question?
No question from me.
All right. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. You have a lovely. So this is your assignment.
Yes, I understand.
So your assignment, build a model. Build a logistic regression model on the flood without none. What happened? Data set. That's the assignment. So please do it. Build that model. We won't go over the model building next week because that's what I told you. We began to some steps now that we don't need to. I don't need to. The data is okay now. At least this without none is okay. If you check anything now, check duplicate, check missing value, you're not going to find it. Do you get the idea? So it's complete. So just go ahead and build yours. That means select all the numerical, select the categorical, standardize the numerical, encode the categorical. Then when you get that, test split the model at the data set, then fit your model, fit your X train and Y train on the data on the model, then get the prediction. Pim, that's all. So that I have the model. I will just pick the model and use the model. Will now do the same thing that we have done on the testing data, then it will work. I'll predict it, and you see the now. Okay. All right. Any question? Any question?
None from me.
All right. You have a lovely night rest.
I will, and you too.
All right.
Good night.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit. So let me minimize this and stop recording. Yep. Stop sharing. Voila. Stop recording because we don't have anything to discuss again. Voila. Yep.